The Continental Tire Coach's Corner, the new Orlando Alliance head coach Steve Spurrier joining us on the program. Coach, what are you up to?
Well, first of all, Dan, I want to say I was very impressed when you had on that mascot outfit and dunked the basketball like that. That was impressive.
Thank you, Coach.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, I tell you what, this for me really it's a perfect situation. If someone would say, "What would get you back into coaching?" I would say maybe a team in Florida, maybe in Orlando, something like that. And it's like a 4 to 5 month a year deal. This is not a year-round recruiting guys and doing all this kind of stuff. It's a alliance. Got to deal with CBS. They're going to try to play in 2.5 hours, 30 seconds between plays instead of 40. Emphasize safety, no kickoffs, some really good rules, I think, that emphasize safety and avoiding plays that maybe a lot of injuries occur in. And it's right here. Going to have 8 teams play during the time February, March, April. There's no conflict with college football or NFL. So it's a little bit like a minor league for professional football. There's many good football players out there, and there's just not enough room in the NFL for all of them. So that's the game plan sort of right there, and I think it's a good one.
Are you going to reach out to Tim Tebow?
Well, I've already reached out to Tim.
Oh, you did?
But I tell you what, if he's swinging the bat and hitting the ball, and he wants to stay with baseball, I can certainly understand that. But if at some point he wants to start throwing the ball around and so forth, we got a number 15 jersey waiting on him.
What did he say when you reached out to him?
Well, just basically, I'm going to keep swinging the bat, and I don't blame him. And I think we all understand if that works out for him and he can get to the major leagues, that's a pretty good gig right there. But if not, I think he's flexible. We're all flexible, but so right now, that's it. He's going to keep swinging the bat, and but we don't play till 2019, so we'll see where we're all at in 2019.
When's the last time a college reached out to you to possibly become their coach?
College?
Yeah, did anybody reach out to you since you retired?
No, not college. No. When I finished up, I basically said my college days pretty much are over. Maybe being an AD for football would be something that might be interesting, but no, I don't have any desire to spend the time that these college coaches spend now, Dan. It's a year-round job. It's really changed from in the 90s, the way they recruit 9th and 10th graders, and it's just social media. I mean, it's a constant chore for those coaches. And if you're not working as hard as them, you're going to get left in the dust. So I've had my run in college, but this sounds like a challenge. See if we can put together a team and see if we can win the dang championship. They'll have a trophy and a championship game, and in life we need something to keep us fired up and going. So this is something I'm looking forward to.
Where are we headed at the quarterbacking position? Where do you think we are in 5 or 10 years from now, whether it's college quarterback or it's the pro quarterback?
Dan, I really believe it is very, very helpful if the quarterback can run a bit and can scramble a bit more than maybe in the past. These defensive guys are so good now. It's hard to block them for a long time. But then again, the quarterbacks that know how to get rid of the ball, decision makers, very good. Certainly they can continue playing, no doubt. But the college game, these quarterbacks that are dual threats and can run and protect themselves at the same time, I just think it gives that team a little bit of an advantage.
But who's the best quarterback you ever faced?
The best quarterback I've ever faced. Well, to tell you this, I had 2 years with the Washington Redskins, and we played Belichick and Tom Brady, and we actually beat them. We beat them in Washington, 20-17, and I think right after that game they went on like a 18 or 20 game win streak, something like that. and that was right when Brady was just taking over back in 2002, I think it was. So as far, I guess he'd have to be the best that I've coached against.
But how do you explain Brady?
I explain him as, first of all, a person, a man that is very serious about what he does. I mean, he wants to be really, really good. And from his physical conditioning to mental conditioning and knowing the game inside out and this, that, and the other, I mean, he's totally prepared. He invests his time to being the best quarterback that he can possibly be. And of course, New England, they've got an excellent plan for their players, too. I think we all agree Bill Belichick, his team and the way they do things is the best. So I'm a big admirer of him and Tom Brady. I think just total preparation, they do it maybe a little bit better than almost anybody.
How about the least important trait for an NFL quarterback? If I gave you running speed, height, arm strength, what don't you need that much of?
Least, well, certainly you got to have the ability to make all the throws, but you can't throw a bullet. You got to throw a catchable ball. I think Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton, I mean, all the guys that own the records, going all the way back to Fran Tarkenton, they threw it. And John Brody, the guy I played behind 6 years, they threw a very catchable ball. You know, it's a nice spiral. If it's not a spiral, it's very catchable, though, anyway. And obviously putting it where the player can catch it. So some of those big, tall guys that throw it 100 miles an hour, that's not, I don't think, conducive to really good offenses. So that's, to me, a big thing, throwing that catchable pass.
Well, you got this kid out of Wyoming, Josh Allen, who's got one of these once-in-a-lifetime arms. So would that concern you that maybe he throws too hard of a ball, or he throws it too far, too strong of an arm?
You know, I hadn't watched him a whole bunch, but if they have a lot of drop passes, then, yeah, that's a concern right there, I would say.
How would you describe your quarterbacking style? Because people forget, I think you're one of 4 people to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach and a player. What was your quarterbacking style?
Well, in college, we rolled out a bit, and we had a little bit of a drop back and so forth. And, of course, back in our day, the game wasn't near as fast as it is now. So I think I did throw a catchable. It wasn't always a spiral, but it was catchable. But in the NFL, my style was standing over there on the sideline. I did get 10 years in the NFL, 8 of them as a backup quarterback. And I tell people all the time that's the best job in pro football when you're out of it, was that backup quarterback job. You don't get hit. Nobody yells and screams at you. And usually the fans, if the starter goes bad, the fans want the backup in there. But anyway, I got a chance to play about 2 of the 10 years that I was in the NFL.
I got you at 38 games in 10 years, 38 starts.
Okay, that's about right. Yeah, 72, I got to start a lot. And then
what's the one you remember?
My favorite pro game?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, when I played with the 49ers, the L.A. Rams owned us, Dan. And I mean they owned us. In 9 years, we played them twice every year. That's 18 games. We managed to beat the L.A. Rams twice out of 18, and I played in one of them. Brody played in the other one. But I played against them in, I think it was 1975. We went down there, and, man, I asked Coach Nolan to let me call the plays, and I actually asked him to let me play. I was sort of on the bench. We were floundering around. We were about 1-6. They were about 6-1, something like that. And I asked him to let me play, and he said, "Well, you may get in there." I said, "No, serious, Coach. I've been here 9 years. I'd like to just go play against them just to see if we could beat them." And so anyway, about the middle of the week, he said, "Okay, it's all yours." And he actually let me call the plays. And I mean, some stuff happened, and it was a game. Remember Dempsey that had that club foot?
Yeah, Tom Dempsey.
Tom Dempsey. He attempted a field goal, and our defensive back, Ralph McGill, went in there to block it. and his foot hit him right in the side of the head, knocked him out completely. I mean, we didn't know if he was even going to survive it. He was out a good 2 hours or so with concussion. But anyway, they called roughing the kicker on Ralph McGill. And Dempsey went down there. They eventually scored a touchdown, and he went down there and missed the extra point. So they were up 23-21, and we put a little sort of a half-ass drive together. And we had 4th and 4 at about the 36 or 7 yard line. And do you try a 56-yard field goal, or do you go for the 4th down? And we had Mickemeyer, our field goal guy. He could reach, and I think it was a 54-yarder. He makes a 54-yarder, and we beat him 24-23. So that was my favorite game right there. We finally beat the L.A. Rams. They had Jack Youngblood and all those guys back then, and I mean they owned us.
That's a pretty good memory, though, Coach. That's you know.
Oh, I remember that game. All the plays. Gene Washington caught a couple touchdown passes. Coach Nolan let me put in a little back option play where the halfback goes out and runs one-on-one with the linebacker. And when I got into coaching, that was one of our favorite plays. It's man-to-man. Let's get that back on the linebacker. And Dell Williams caught a touchdown against him on that play. So that was my most fun game right there.
We don't have a nickname for the Orlando team, right? It's just the Orlando Lions?
They don't have that yet.
You're going to have one.
Suggestions.
Oh.
I heard one the other day, hombres. Hombre is a Spanish word for someone from your hometown, an acquaintance, or someone from your neighborhood. And so we're trying to appeal to the greater Orlando area, which is sort of the Orlando neighborhood. And if we're all a bunch of hombres, fans, players, coaches, everything else, to me it's sort of a little bit of a rallying word. Hombres, we're all buddies, we're all pals. Let's go see if we can win this game, something like that. But I think the Alliance is pretty much in charge of the exact word. But I think the fans down there, we're letting them pitch in to some of the radio call in and all that, and see if we can come up with a good word, a good nickname.
You'd be the head hombre is what you'd be.
Head hombre, they're tough hombres, mean hombres, talented hombres. You can put an adjective in front of all that.
Hey, Coach, great to hear from you, and happy birthday! I think coming up. What do you do? 73 coming up on Friday.
Be 73 on the 20th. Yeah,
nice.
Feel pretty good. I tell you, my golf game's not as good as it once was, but I still ride that bike and treadmill maybe a little bit better than I did 10 years ago. I've had a lot of time to do that. But, really looking forward to the Alliance of American Football. I think it'll be a very competitive game, and America has proven they'll watch football on television. So that's what this is all about.
Thank you, Coach. Good to talk to you again.
Okay, Dan. Good talking to you. All righty.
That's Steve Spurrier, head hombre.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.